Oh man, LDMMAC. Where do I start in this video? Like, guys, get your coffee, get your popcorn. This finna be good. This finna be long. Okay. So I wake up this morning to lots of comments and DMs about my view of Claressa Shields, in MMA. And I gave my honest assessment. Because I understand the sport of MMA. I understand the sport. I know the sport. And I understand what it's going to take for a boxer, especially, okay, to actually, be successful. Because if you do the history of MMA, boxers in MMA, it hadn't been a lot of boxers very successful in MMA. It just hadn't been. I mean, you got Amanda Serrano, who's had some success. But, they've also, too, Amanda Serrano wasn't milked into these fights, these dangerous fights that she wasn't prepared for. Okay? Amanda Serrano actually fought people that were exactly on her level. And Amanda Serrano actually, had some training, okay, in the art. She's had success. She's had some. And it's not many boxers that have actually had lots and lots of success in the octagon. Okay? You also got Anna Hulatin. Anna Hulatin has had success in an octagon. Okay, she was a decent MMA fighter who, traditionally was a boxer. But folks, I tell you this because boxing is probably one of the harder disciplines to actually transition over to MMA. And, a lot of people who will be like, man, it don't make sense because the fight start on the feet. Absolutely, it does. But I'll do another video. I'll do a video and really break down what styles are probably the best and more conducive to start in MMA. And I'm not saying that a boxer can't do it. That's not what I'm saying. You see, you get so many sensitive people on here, and it's like they can't even accept the person's different opinion. It's fine. Okay, it's fine to have a different opinion or a different view, but they can't do that. They can't accept it. It's like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm dealing with a lot of these darn millennials, and it's just like, I don't even like talking to these millennials because they can't handle anything. Nothing. Everything they take is so like personal with these people. But here's a comment, and let's really talk about this. Now, this dude, Ashy Knuckles, this is not Ashy Knuckles boxing, not him. It's not the homie Ashy Knuckles, okay? Coach Harrison is always trying to down the sister, Claressa Shields. First of all, sir, how are you a fan? How are you a fan of Claressa Shields, and you don't even know how to spell her name? Okay, this is a fake outrage already. You're a fan of Claressa Shields, but you don't know how to spell her name. Wow, amazing. I mean, damn. Don't she supposed to call out the top fighters? I bet you sit your Brazilian loving ass down. That's pretty funny, man. I like that. That's pretty funny. Then, he said, and then the rest of it, you being here buck dancing and all this. Now, let's do this. Let's talk about the subject of buck dancing. Hey, where were you when I was defending Angela Overkill Hill? I mean, do you remember that? Do you remember when Angela Overkill Hill was, they feature her as the first black woman to ever have a main event in the UFC? Where were you when I was defending that? I didn't see you making videos or having any comments about that. How do you explain that? Where were you when I had to defend Jermaine Durandame? Where were you when I had to defend Jermaine? Right? Because at the time, her and Megan Anderson, they ducked the fight with Chris Cyborg, but people was coming down on Jermaine and didn't want to give any criticism to Megan Anderson. How you going to explain that? How do you explain that? Where were you? Where were you when I called out Tyron Woodley for allowing Mike Perry to use the N-word in his presence and calling him an N-word? Where were you? What were you doing? Where are your videos? I mean, what are you doing? How do you explain this? Where are you in your own community? I know where I am in my community. Okay? I don't have any Brazilian children living with me. I don't. Have you ever opened your door up to any of these kids? Have you ever done that? I know we have here. What are you doing for the kids in your community? I employ 8 neighborhood kids that, were traditionally in trouble. They black. They make $200 to $300 a week. Ages 12, 11, 13, that age range. What do you do in your neighborhood? How do you explain that? I know you ain't doing it, and you'll come up with something. You'll come up with something that you say you do in your neighborhood, but you don't. What are you doing in your community? I have a gym in my community. And my gym is for all the at-risk kids in the community. It's for them. It's for them, so they can go in here and have some place normal for 2-3 hours a day. You don't know a damn thing about me. How do you explain this? What are you doing in your community? Because I know what I'm doing in my black community. I know what I'm doing in my black community. And let me tell you, okay? A lot more than what you're doing by sitting here typing on it. Matter of fact, dude, you ain't doing anything. Let's just get that straight. You're doing nothing because you don't have anything. You'll come out here, you'll say, oh man, I'm doing this. You ain't doing jack. You ain't doing jack. And this is the reason why I'm doubling down on you, on people like you. Okay, Claressa Shields said in this interview with Brett Okamoto, and I gotta see your smoke for Brett Okamoto. I gotta see that. I got to see it. Because first of all, not only did this man not know how to pronounce her name, okay, but he asked her one of the most dumbest questions. He asked Claressa, hey, have you ever had fights in the street? And I'm sitting here like, what? Like, okay, you assume that she's fought in the street because she live in Detroit? So first of all, I know you ain't gonna call that out. I know you ain't gonna have 2 words to say about that. Not 2, but that's okay, and we ain't worried about that. Let's talk about what Claressa said in this interview. Okay, look, Claressa Shields, she sat here and she said that, hey, I learn fast. I can be a jiu-jitsu black belt in 2 years. Okay, you stupid fool. And I'm talking about to the guy. Are you that stupid at MMA? Are you dumb too? You can't be a jiu-jitsu black belt in 2 years. Not a legit one. It doesn't work that way. You can't be a jiu-jitsu black belt. You go in there thinking in 2 years that you've learned everything you can about being a black belt and somebody will break your arm. That's what's gonna happen. What I said in my video, my stream, I said, I think it is a good idea for her to go into MMA because there's nothing going on in boxing. I said it's perfect, but I said it needs to be done correctly. Okay? No, you don't call out the top fighters in the damn sport. First of all, you ain't even had an MMA bout yourself. You ain't had one MMA bout, not one. And now you calling out the top dog in mixed martial arts? Not one. You tried to call out for boxing. Amanda said, okay, come to MMA. Because we all know what'll happen if she fights Amanda Nunes in the octagon. We know what's going to happen. And her timeline is 2022 to fight the best, to fight the top fighters in MMA. That's her timeline, by the way. What do you think gonna happen to her if she stepped into an octagon with Amanda Nunes in 2022? And I want y'all to be honest. And I'm talking about, see, for all you people that you're very ignorant of MMA. You're very ignorant of MMA. What do you think's gonna happen? It's not me hating. I said the same thing about Kayla Harrison. I went in worse on Hype Job Harrison. I still don't think Hype Job Harrison ready for Chris Cyborg. And guess what? Hype Job Harrison got 8 professional fights. I gave her the exact same word. I don't even understand. But it's so many people, you're ignorant of MMA. Number 1, submission defense. You got to learn that. And even when you have your first bout, everything's not going to be perfected. It's not going to be there. But you're going to have to learn how to defend submission. You got to learn. Because if you don't learn how to submission defense, what everybody going to do, they going to know that they can take you to the ground, they're going to try to take your back, or they're going to take your arm. That's what they're going to do. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what they're going to do. That's what these people they're going to do. They're going to take you back. They're going to take you down immediately. But Claressa is ignorant. She don't know. And you know what? And it's a shame that the people who are training this girl for MMA, they're not telling her the truth. Somebody told her that in 2 years, with your athleticism, you can be a jiu-jitsu black belt. Somebody told her that dumb shit. Sorry. And I'm going to be right, guys. I'm going to be right. I've been right about this all along. And I'm going to be right. She going to step up in there. Okay? She going to step, in the PFL, they ignorant too. They're going to try to milk this girl. They're going to try to milk her for this money. Okay, and Claressa gonna get in here. She's gonna take a fight, and the person is gonna be probably even at an amateur level for MMA, but because this person understands, ground awareness, MMA fighters, most of them ain't going down with one shot. Okay, they gonna let you get off, but if they feel that they can grab you in the clinch, it's over. They know this. They know. They already know. And she said she's gonna fight in May 2021. Okay. This person said that, hey, I can learn how to wrestle in a year. Like, guys, it's not me hating. I'm speaking reality. Chris Cyborg just got her jiu-jitsu black belt. Holly Holm just got her blue belt. I think Angela Overkill Hill, and before you start saying, no, man, ain't no black fighters, Angela Overkill Hill. I think Angela Overkill Hill just became a brown belt. Angela been fighting for damn near 15 years. I think Dynamite Danielle Taylor is a blue belt, and she been in the game for 10 years. Like, they don't just give them out. Okay? Because any jiu-jitsu master, any sensei, they're gonna make sure they want to know that you know what you're doing. Because see, if you have a jiu-jitsu master, right? You're in his school, and let me tell you something that you don't know about that. If you give somebody a black belt that they didn't earn it, okay, like that's a sign of disgrace. Okay, that is a sign of shame when it comes to jiu-jitsu. It's a shame. And when your name is shamed like that in the jiu-jitsu world, okay, students won't want to come to you. They won't come to you because people will know that your jiu-jitsu is garbage. They're gonna know that you're just giving away belts for money. There's a thing. There really is a pride when it comes to jiu-jitsu and MMA. And no jiu-jitsu master wants to have students that are not prepared. They don't want that. That's a big no-no in the world of jiu-jitsu. I guarantee that's a big no. A lot of you are ignorant of what it takes. Nobody's downing her and say, hey, she can't fight in mixed martial arts. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that this thing, she need to get in there, and it need to go slow. You don't need to be trying to fight no Amanda Nunes by 2022. Because somebody like Nunes, real talk, somebody like Amanda Nunes can get in there. Okay, that's your career. That's your career, because Amanda can't. If you don't know what you're doing, a jiu-jitsu black belt versus a person who's even a white belt, they can break they can break your arm, man. Have y'all seen some of the fights? When some of these black belts are just, like dislocating these elbows and arms, even on brown belts, they doing this. I'm trying to think, what make you think that Amanda won't be able to do that to Claressa Shields? What make y'all think that she won't be able to do that? Of course she'll be able to do that. And she'll do it, in very devastating and brutal fashion. No, this thing, it's got to be marinated slowly, man. Because what she's going to see, man, is that her MMA career is going to be very, very short. It's going to be extremely short. And see, for what? She'll make a couple $100,000. Yeah, okay. But how is this going to help enhance her other career in boxing? How? How, y'all? How is this going to enhance her other career? Is this going to make her boxing career better or worse if she gets into the octagon unprepared? I'm coming from a point where you need to be prepared to do this kind of thing. Okay? Just because you got hands in MMA, they're going to eat that up. She got to take the proper precautionary steps to get in there and fight inside of a cage. Like, it's got to happen. Cage control. Armbar submission. Kimura submission. Rear naked chokes. You got to be able to defend that. Twisters. You got people that's got all kind of tricks up their sleeves that can end you. Jumping into an octagon, ill prepared, it's just not the thing to do. And don't worry, I got more smoke for this clown coming up later. The dude that left the comment anyway.